Hello, friends and enemies. Today's band hails from Quindio, Colombia, that being Corredor Polaco, meaning Polish corridor, something you World War history enthusiasts will get, which I have to assume is at least a few of my audience, given the long history of post-punk and references to the World Wars. This band is a four-person act made up of Oscar Cardona on vocals and bass, yay, a lead singer-bassist, David Quiroga, yes, like the horror writer, on drums, and both Felipe Del Rio and Andres Use on guitars and synthesizers. Genre-wise, this band describes himself as being influenced by post-punk, death rock, and darkwave, and specifically self-describes as materialismo gótico, that being gothic materialism. I have to assume this is less materialism in the lover for material goods sense, and more materialism as in the dialectical materialism in philosophy and politics for reasons we will get into later. Subject-wise, they describe their influences as including restlessness, fury, Colombian and Latin American identity, social terror, science fiction, and living under late capitalism. Today, we are specifically going to be discussing their 2023 debut AP Fabrica para quemar recuerdos, which translates to a factory to burn memories. Before I get much further, please remember to like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you want more content related to goth music from Latin America. Whenever I have shared this band's music across my platforms, I've always described them as eclectic goth because there truly is a diversity of sound and influence that, while definitely goth, cannot necessarily be pinned down to a single subgenre. There are many of the traditional goth elements and sounds, such as the consistent minor keys, dissonant chords, strong bass line, twangly guitars, spooky synths, and the use of discordant sounds to create unease. One area that makes them stand out are the vocals. Male goth vocals frequently fall into the categories of either droney deep guy or screechy dude, and Oscar Cardona's vocals are neither. There is an almost shouty nature to his singing, which is sometimes also quite fast-paced. Subject-wise, in case you hadn't guessed by the name of the band, the name of the album, or the previous descriptions given, this is a very heavily political and historical inspired album. So yeah, if you're one of those people who says, people need to stop putting politics into music, goth shouldn't be political, you aren't going to like this one very much. On that note, before I get into the individual songs, I feel like I should provide a content warning. The politics discussed in this album aren't just, yay, equal rights are good. There are some discussions of some pretty horrific historical events, including massacres against workers and indigenous people, so brace yourselves, those will be referenced. All the songs are in Spanish, so if you no habla español or read the lyrics, for those of you with auditory processing issues, I guess you won't be able to tell, but I think you should know what the songs you are listening to are about because it provides a very important context. In that sense, it is also a pretty educational album because I had to look up some events in Colombian history to know what some of these songs were talking about. So, this is the album. First song is Caído en Desgracia, which translates to Fallen from Grace. With its dissonant and aggrieved sounding vocals, the song is lyrically about falling from grace and wanting to disappear, perhaps the reason for the reverb that makes the words almost fade away at times. There is also a message about the city itself lacking hope, so maybe there are multiple meanings to this song. The following song is Paren las máquinas, meaning Stop the Machines. This song has a strong bass line with a spiraling, chaotic melody so that you can feel what the subject of the songs are feeling. This song appears to be about what is known as the Banana Massacre, an incident in December of 1928 in Magdalena, Colombia, in which agricultural workers for the company now known as Chiquita, famous for the bananas, started striking for better working conditions. As a result, U.S. officials declared them communists and subversives and killed them because they dared to ask to be treated well while they picked bananas. Remember that the next time you eat a Chiquita product. Up next is Hombre en Llamas, meaning Man in Flames. This is a very ominous sounding song. I'm not totally clear what it's about, but it might be about a man who self-immolates in front of the song's narrator or was set on fire by some political adversary. The ACAB balaclava the lead singer is wearing in the music video definitely indicates there's a specific reasoning behind this. It constantly describes the man as pointing at you, so there's an implication that you are the one who made this act necessary or enabled it in some way. After that is Ecos en el Jardín, that meaning echoes in the garden. The narrator of the song describes how their former home has essentially become a ruin and all their friends are gone and all the celebrations are no more. I think it might be more symbolic for whether colonialism or urban sprawl or just something that has changed the way of life and replaced it with feelings of emptiness. After that, the song is En los rosales de la muerte, meaning in the rose bushes of death. This is a particularly mournful sounding song, definitely one of the slower ones. This is one of the more guitar-driven songs instrumentally, giving us that high-pitched crying post-punk guitar to emphasize the feelings of loss. Lyrically, it describes missing someone who is presumably dead. The next song is Replicante, meaning replicant. It's another one of those chaotic, swirling melodied, fast-paced songs. We finally get to see that science fiction influence that they mentioned having because this song, as indicated in the title, appears to be, at least in part, influenced by the book Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, which most of you will know as the book that inspired the movie Blade Runner. This definitely fits the album's theme of struggling under modernity. The final song is Mausoleo, meaning mausoleum. This is a very menacing sounding song, which works because the lyrics are mostly listing various massacres that occurred in Colombia throughout history and how the land has become a mausoleum as a result. This is definitely not a restful album, and it feels weird to call it fun because the subject matter of the songs, but it is definitely exhilarating. Like many goth bands, they talk about some sad things, but the sound is not let's mope around over the sad things album. This is a take action album. The most comparable bands I can think of are Diavel Strain from Chile because of the similar dissonant chaotic sound as well as references to issues, although Diavel Strain takes the more esoteric approach to solutions. And also Warsaw Pact from good old Los Angeles, California, USA. There's similarities in terms of the sound because Warsaw Pact is sort of more rocking goth gaze band, but also because of the historical references and politically charged lyrics. I know Warsaw Pact is opening for Gadal when they're coming to LA, and I could see them opening for these guys if they ever come to the US, which they should, because they should tour the whole world because they're awesome. Anyways, if you would like to listen to this album or follow Corredor Polaco on social media, all those links are in the video description down below. Comment on their YouTube videos and Instagram posts and tell them I sent you. Or don't, but you should follow them and share their stuff if you like them. If you want to follow me elsewhere on social media, my link tree is in the description as well. If you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and maybe even share this video with some of your friends who might like it as well. Until next time, bye now.